Alright, Wes, I have your Airblade eclair done. This is actually my first time building one of these with a split mini. It wasn't too difficult. For someone like me that has a lot of spare parts, a lot of spare, standoffs and screws and whatnot, makes it a lot easier. But you can see how well it fit. Pretty damn good. Perfect, actually. So you have the Zeus F4, which is an all-in-one F4 flight controller with 15 amp ESCs. Then you got your split mini, which is a 2-stack. And then you have the AKK FX3 Ultimate, which is a pretty sweet VTX. I believe this is going to be my new favorite. The original one was my favorite, but I didn't even know they were going to do that. But they actually fixed every single problem that I had with the first original FX3 VTX, and those problems were that I didn't like the MMCX connector. So you can see right there they added a UFL, which is just awesome. They added a microphone, you can see right there, but that's not really necessary since you have a microphone on the split mini. And then they got rid of the giant plug in the front, which was hitting my camera. So that's pretty awesome. But they actually did remove the LCD screen, and I really like that LCD screen, but they must have had a good reason to do it. I'm sure they didn't just take it away for no reason. So pretty awesome VTX though. It's 600 milliwatts, smart audio, microphone, UFL, and MMCX. I mean, it's got everything anybody would want in a VTX, and at a great price too. So, and it fits on a 20x20 stack, which is just awesome. I did add a cap. It's underneath behind the camera there. The buzzer is behind the camera as well. You got the horns from Airblade. It's pretty sweet. I did look in my goggles and I didn't see these at all in view, so that's pretty cool. That's really going to help with crashes, because it pushes all the way up against to the case right here. So I mean, if you hit something hard, it's not going to do any damage, and it's going to totally protect the lens, which is awesome. So yeah, pretty cool. I actually got myself one of these, but I got the wrong one and it didn't fit the quad that I wanted it on, so I just put it on some other dude's quad when I sent it to him. Nice surprise for him. Then you got I'm not sure which one you had in your cart when you showed me your cart. I guess I could go back and look, but I ended up getting the angled connector because I've have a lot of experience with these MMCX connectors, and on micro quads this size, it would have been sticking out the back like this far, probably like to right here, before you were able to bend it, and that's just not cool. So I got the angled one, and I thought about it after I got it. It came, and I was like, oh man, I would be able to point it straight down to where the angle is coming down, and it worked perfect too. But the only problem was where I had the stack at, because of the stack height where it had to be, it was bumping this standoff just barely. It just barely was hitting it. So yeah, I wasn't able to squeeze it on there, or else it would have been smashing down on shit too hard. So I turned it to the side, which works just fine too. And if anybody that watches my videos, they know that I'm not a fan of the MMCX, only because, for micros in particular, because it sticks out so far in the back before you're able to bend it up. But this angled connector is pretty nice. I mean, you can see if I push it back like that. I had it pulled out because I plugged into the USB, but actually I could tuck it under here, and there you go. You can get to the USB no problem. And the connector isn't sticking out at all. I mean, it's still inside the side plates there, so that's really nice. So I would highly recommend anybody that's getting an antenna with an MMCX connector for a micro-sized quad, 2.5 inch, even a 3 inch, definitely go with the angled connector, because like I was saying, you can point it down, and all that space that would normally be pointing out the back if you got the straight connector it'll just go straight down the back side of your stack if you have your VTX on the top. And it's just perfect. I mean, I could show you what I'm talking about if I take the standoff off, but that's too much work. So, what else? I had to resource the motors, or the signals around or whatever, because since I had to turn the flight controller sideways, that's the only way it'll fit. And even then, you can see it just barely fits. I mean, the plates are touching the flight controller. And it's just barely fit. Like, I guess it's not completely touching it, but it's so close. It's almost like too perfect, But yeah, so I had to resource the motors to match. That's all taken care of. I bound it up to my radio. You can see the bind buttons right there on top. I also flashed this receiver, so now you have RSSI. And I set that up in your OSD already. The props, I'm not sure. I probably need to keep these because I don't have many left. Otherwise, I would give them to you. But, yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. So I'll show you the video. I'll do a quick little hover, and I'll get this sent out to you. So, yeah, you'll have to take off this back standoff to get to the USB. But, it's 2 screws. It's take you 10 seconds to take it off. And then the USB for the split is right here. I put a little plug on it. And then your buttons for the split are right here. And your micro SD for the split is right there. Yeah, that's about it. So, I turn on my radio. And right now it is set to race band channel 3, or actually F1, R3 or F1. They both give you 99%. So there you go. You got your RSSI in the middle, your battery voltage on the left, and your timer on the right. I think it says no SD up in the upper right corner because there's no SD card in it. Alright, this will be my first time testing it out. I haven't even test hovered it yet, so hopefully it flies. So far, so good. Alright. Damn. It feels like it has just as much power as like the same quad without a split mini. Damn, that's awesome. Yeah, it's flying really nice too. It is flashed to 3.4, Betaflight 3.4. It's flashing because it doesn't have a SD card in it. There's your lights for your VTX right there, and then the button for the VTX is right here as well, right below the LEDs. And then you also have the smart audio. I turned that on for, it's on UART 6, so I turned that on, smart audio, so you'll be able to use that in your goggles, in your OSD, or in your Lewis grip. So yeah, it's ready to go. I'll box it up tonight, and I'll send you over some tracking in the morning, and it'll ship tomorrow. Alright, thanks Wes.